Land, uh, they rejected na the pandemic treaty. The Estonia and Slovakia, they also rejected. And the United States Senate, wherein we got a copy from the different senators from I think 42 Republican senators who oppose this pandemic treaty because their sovereignty is at stake, and also the Republican governors of America, 24 Republican governors signed as well. The chairman of the Committee on Human Rights.
Magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. Thank you so much, Chairman of the Committee on Public Order and Safety. This is the lead committee on this hearing today. Ito po ang third hearing on the joint inquiry in aid of legislation of the Committee on Public Order and Safety. This is the lead committee and the Commission on Human Rights on House Resolution number 1481 entitled Resolution Directing the Committee on Public Order and Safety to immediately conduct an investigation into the 297,000 excess deaths in the Philippines in 2021 based on data from the Philippine Statistics Authority or PSA, as the possible cause of such deaths threatens public order by putting into question the overall safety and efficacy of the response of our healthcare system during the time of the pandemic, as introduced by the chairman himself, the Honorable Dan S. Fernandez. The joint inquiry of the Committees on Public Order and Safety and Human Rights is now on its fourth hearing, including the briefing held on November 3rd, 2023. Some 4 years after the pandemic struck, the host of pandemic-related issues continue to confound us, as articulated in House Resolution 1481, filed by Honorable Chairperson Dan Fernandez. The recent news reports on the rise of COVID cases with the flirt variant exacerbates the underlying issues of this joint congressional probe. While some questions have been veritably answered in the previous hearings, still many more issues have been exposed, and the situation may be likened to a Pandora's box that has been opened with curious minds, but it has eventually resulted to an ugly tapestry of negative impacts and unintended consequences. And as we plod on with the congressional investigation, the World Health Organization's annual assembly has started last week, which brings us to the non-appearance of some of our key resource persons in today's hearing. Based on the official document dated 21 May 2024, submitted to the committees by the Department of Foreign Affairs, it is emphasized that, as I quote, no agency has ever expressed strong opposition to the Philippines' participation in the treaty negotiations, end of quote. The committees likewise note in the same document that President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. declared his commitment, and I quote, to the member states' collective efforts to draft and negotiate a global accord on the pandemic preparedness, prevention, response and recovery, as well as the process to amend the international health regulations. The negotiations involved in the crafting of the World Health Organization Pandemic Treaty and the international health regulations deserve a more circumspect scrutiny from Congress in order to ensure that the rights of the people are protected, their voices are heard, and the legal safeguards are set up and faithfully observed before anything permanent and of far-reaching consequences to our people would be sealed with finality. This representation expects to be fully apprised by the resource persons from DFA and Department of Health on the status of the World Health Organization General Assembly meeting that now unfolds in Geneva, and also on a specific provisions of the pandemic treaty and international health regulations that have been submitted by the Philippine government to the World Health Organization, as well as the rationale for these specific proposals. In sum, I reiterate that the joint inquiry to ferret out the truth in this investigation, imploring the aid of Almighty God and guided by the rule of law, we will endeavor to bring out the solid facts and direct full respect for human rights, human dignity, and freedoms guaranteed under the Constitution. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Co-Chair. The next item is the opening remarks of the Chair. Good afternoon to our colleagues, resource persons, and guests. Welcome to the joint meeting of the Committee on Public Order and Safety and the Committee on Human Rights. Congress has adjourned SINAGE, but the House leadership has authorized committees to conduct meetings during adjournment. Kaya tuloy po ang trabaho natin. In the last hearing, the Department of Health informed the body that the final package of proposed amendments to the International Health Regulation, or IHR, shall be considered during the World Health Assembly to be held in Geneva. Wala kahapon po yun. Nagsimula na. From May 27 to June 1, 2024. We hope that the DOH representatives who are here today are duly authorized to attend and represent the agency in today's hearing. And more importantly, they are capable of providing the information required by the body. On the other hand, the Department of Foreign Affairs submitted to the body 2 documents. A briefer on the proposed amendments to the IHR. Finally, nakuha rin po namin, ha? Ang tagal-tagal na po namin hinahanap to. Ngayon lamang lumabas, a briefer on the Intergovernmental Negotiating Body, o yung tinatawag po nating INB, which is required by International Health Regulation under the World Health Organization, to draft and negotiate on the proposed pandemic agreement. We expect the representatives from the DFA to further elaborate on these negotiations. Going back to the original premise of the resolution I filed, which on the excess deaths in 2021, based on the data from the Philippine Statistics Authority, the body will discuss the monitoring, evaluation, investigation, and reporting mechanism to be followed by local government units in case of adverse events following immunization. Before we start, I wish to thank everyone for attending this meeting. We look forward to a fruitful discussion this afternoon. Maraming salamat po. Simulan na po natin ang ating pong discussion. In the last hearing, yun po yung ating pinagtatalunan na kung saan, noong December po, kami po nila Chairman Ako, together with Congressman, all the members of the Committee on Human Rights, ay tinatanong po namin yung deadline, yung amendments sa International Health Regulation, wherein ang ating Department of Health, through the times, Yusek Tayag, and nagpaikot-ikot po tayo, hindi natin nalaman ang sagot. Now, andito na po tayo, and we warned everybody that May 2024 will be the final ratification of the World Health Assembly. Nangyayari po ngayon sa Geneva. Nag-start po sila kahapon at nakaka-second day na po sila. Matatapos po yun sa June 1. At yung dinidiscuss po natin 300 amendments, no? Na kasama po doon yung magkakaroon na po tayo ng mandatory lockdowns, magkakaroon na po tayo ng tinatawag na mandatory po yung surveillance, tapos yung pong treatments natin, kung ano yung sasabihin po nila, yun na rin po ang susundan natin. In other words, lahat po yan na sasabihin ng WHO through the amendments of the International Health Regulation will be binded, legally binded to all of us. Hindi na po siya dadaan sa Senado. Ito pong pandemic treaty na to, hindi na po siya dadaan. There will be one governing health body, at yun po ang World Health Organization. We need to find out ano po yung talagang nilalaman nung amendments na yun. Na diniscuss na rin po natin thoroughly in the last hearing. And I hope that we will be shedding light more intensely doon sa mga provisions of that 300 amendments. So siguro co-chair.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, co-chair.
I
Please.
just would like to make a manifestation here and on record na ito sa Manila Standard lamang. Department of Health, Bureau of Quarantine is now on heightened alert for the new COVID-19 flirt variant. Kaya nakikita po ninyo na tamang-tama po itong committee hearing na ito. Number two, let's just put on record, Mr. Chair, that we just received today the link from the DOH on the working group on amendments to the International Health Regulation from the World Health Organization. And we just printed it, no? We have the copy now. Ngayon lang, dumating ang copy.
Yes, so yung tinatawag na Working Group Amendments on International Health Regulation. Pag titignan mo naman talaga sa Google yan, it's all over the internet. But yung submission nila sa atin ay actually ngayon lang natin na-process, wherein they will be ratifying it in Geneva in a few days from now. And that's the reason why it is very important for us na to be equipped, no? Especially from DOH and Foreign Affairs. Ano po ba talaga yung policy ng gobyerno natin pagdating po do sa 303 amendments that were introduced doon po sa International Health Regulation that was submitted sa World Health Assembly noong 2022. Kasi yung period nung what do you call this, ng period ng amendments nag-expired na yon. At yung nga po ang pinagtatalunan natin ng last hearing, sabi nila hindi, may series of meetings, and unfortunately eto na nga, dumating na po yung World Health Assembly na 77th World Health Assembly. At siguro simulan po natin sa Foreign Affairs or siguro sa DOH. Can you kindly educate us on the position of the government with regards to dun sa mga amendments, no, na pinropose po sa International Health Regulation? Do you have the position of the DOH wherein ipapakikita po natin sa inyo na yung pong ating DOH, hindi ko lang alam kung kilala po ninyo yung ating mga co-facilitator. Kasi nung last kinakausap namin si Yusek Tayag, hindi alam kung sino yung representative natin sa WHO. It turned out, meron naman pala tayo mga representative. Andiyan sila Miss Pilar Binuya, si Miss Athena de Guzman, DOH Attorney Carmela Ujano, DOH ASEC Cheryl Ontalan, DOH Director Ann Edilion, IPOPIL, and Mr. Jeff Valdez ang Philippine Mission. And they have attended nung September 4 to 6, 2023. Naghihiring na po tayo ng November. So, alam nyo, I was medyo nabigla po ako bakit hindi natin alam kung sino yung representative natin po dun sa WHO, saka sa International Health Regulation. Nakaka-worry. Dahil nga po yung sinasabi nila sa kanilang amendment na gagawin ng legally binded sa atin yung lockdown, yung vaccination and everything, surveillance, pati na sa global network system na kung saan lahat na ng ating pong communication and personal data will be mirrored, magiging mirrored na siya doon po sa WHO. Can you kindly educate us on this, DOH, please?
Mr. Chair,
Congressman Sia, please.
Before we ask our one of our guests today, Mr. Chair, did I hear the chairman right when he said that this treaty, once approved, it will no longer pass the usual process of the Senate ratifying the treaty, etc. It could be legally binding on us, meaning to say, in essence, it would be a sort of imposition.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to zero in on that premise, Mr. Chair, because that is scary.
Yes, correct.
That's really scary. In fact, no treaties can be effective without a parallel domestic law. The enforceability of a treaty can never be enforced without the Senate's ratification, and therefore, for so many other treaties, it can only be effective and enforceable in our land if it has a parallel domestic laws to implement that. So may I request, Mr. Chair, that our guest here may enlighten us. If that is the case, Mr. Chair, and I hope I am wrong, if that is the case, why do we send representatives to this international event when it would contrary to the very constitution that we have? I mean, we don't have any options other than to accept and to enforce that. I just want to be clear on that, Mr. Chair, and I hope I'm wrong. And I hope you're wrong, Mr. Chair. Just to want to zero in on that before we proceed with other discussions, with other math topics.
Yes, before you reply, no, that's para lang for the information of the body. And that's the reason why New Zealand, they rejected na the pandemic treaty. The Estonia and Slovakia, they also rejected. And the United States Senate, wherein we got a copy from the different senators from I think 42 Republican senators who oppose this pandemic treaty because their sovereignty is at stake, and also the Republican governors of America, 24 Republican governors signed as well. And those state, no, na talagang ino-oppose na po nila yung pandemic treaty because hindi nga dadaan sa legislative. And yun ang amin pong kino-question dito.